today I'm going to be doing part 2 of something that I've done a long time ago, and actually last time I did this video was also a collab, but today's video is a collab with Julie Aronson. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but this is someone that I've been watching for months and months and months, probably 5 months now, and she is one of the sweetest people that I've ever seen on YouTube. Like, she is the most genuine person that you will ever come across. She's the kind of person who you just want to be friends with. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone that you feel like you can really trust. Her channel is amazing. She does a lot of similar things that I do. She does a lot of first impressions. She does a lot of reviews. I want to say that she does some project pans, but I could be wrong about that because I don't really watch project pans, but go check out her channel. She does a lot of really different things on her channel. I will give you a little bit of a list here on the screen so that you can see what I mean, and just, you know, go check her out. She is awesome. So today we're going to be doing a YouTube made me buy it. So obviously there's a lot of things that, you know, you get influence from different places, and all of these things are basically products that other influencers have talked me into buying, or even you guys have talked me into buying. So let's just get into the list because I have a lot to get through, and I'm sure that none of these items are really going to be something that you're going to be super surprised by. So let's just jump into it. So the first thing on my list is something that is so hyped up, and this is the P. Louise eyeshadow base. I've said before that I'm not a huge fan of these as an eyeshadow primer. I mean, they work just fine, but I feel like for hooded eyes, they're a bit tricky to work with because they do crease very easily before you even have time to go in with shadows. But I do really like these for cut creases, and I have a nude colored one in the shade Rumor 2, and I also have the white one, which is the Rumor 0, and I do really like these for cut creases. Do I think that they are worth the money? Probably for most people, but like I said, if you have hooded eyes, they're just a little bit tricky to work with, but I do think it's a really good product overall. So if you've been eyeing these, they aren't that expensive, especially if you live in Europe and you don't have to pay a shit ton for shipping. I think these are 10 euros, 10 pounds each, which isn't really that bad compared to like other primers that you can buy at Sephora. So I would give these a thumbs up, even though they're not really my perfect primer, but I could see it being a lot of other people's perfect primers. So not really unhappy that I got these. And I think the person who made me buy this was Nikki Tutorials, if I'm not mistaken, because she was raving about this like crazy. I think she still uses it. So moving on to the next thing on my list, and that's also going to be an eyeshadow primer, and this is the Milani eyeshadow primer. I bought these because Paulina Beauty was raving about this. Now this is going to be a theme across the board, is that people have been raving about this product and it made me buy it. So yeah, I want to say that I think this primer is okay. It's not, again, it's not my perfect primer because I prefer primers that are a little bit tackier. So you would think the P. Louise base would work for me, but again, that one's a little bit too wet, which is probably why I like the MAC Paint Pot so much. This one dries down a little bit too quickly for my liking, and I don't really have the same kind of tackiness to it that I get in other primers, so a lot of eyeshadows just don't really stick to this as well as I would like. I do think for the price though, it's a good primer, and I know a lot of people really like this, so not going to bash it or anything, it's just not my personal favorite. The next thing on my list is a lip product, and this is the Loreal Color Riche Shine lipsticks. Now, I've said this before, but these are basically a dupe for the Marc Jacobs gloss sticks. They're not like a super opaque lipstick, but they're very, very shiny. And I really like the formula of these. They're super comfortable. I like to add them on top of a lip liner or a lipstick, and I just feel like it really makes the lipstick pop. So I am a huge fan of these, and I can definitely see myself picking up more. And the person who made me buy these was definitely Angelica, because she loves these as well, and I picked it up as soon as I saw her wear it the first time, and I think these are great. Something else that Angelica made me buy, I'm sure you guys are not surprised, and I'm sure a lot of you have bought things because of Angelica too, but these are the Sigma brushes. And I currently have 4 of them. I have the flat top kabuki, I think this is called. It is the F80. I like this for foundation, but it's a little bit too like stippling brushy for me to use for foundation. I will show you what I mean, because the kind of brushes that I like for my foundation are sort of more of like the fluffy side, and this isn't even a foundation brush, so I mean, this is just me being really picky with brushes, and I know that this brush is a lot of people's holy grail, but I find some of my foundations to go on a little bit streaky with this brush, but it is a really good brush, and I will say that the quality of Sigma brushes are fantastic. And the eyeshadow brushes that I have, I don't use these a lot because I feel like I just bought the wrong ones because I didn't know exactly what they would look like on the website. Like this one, for example, is their blending brush, and it's basically the size of my eye, so it's just a little bit too big. I do like the E36 one. This is a great like little blending brush that'll really get to blend out the edges of your eyeshadow. I love this. And I also got the E39. which is also a blending brush, but this is a little bit stiffer. I don't mind this brush, it's just that I have other brushes that are very similar that I like more. But like I said, the quality of Sigma brushes are fantastic, so if you've been looking to invest in good brushes, I would highly recommend checking out Sigma. And I really want to get more of their face brushes, because I found out that their eyeshadow brushes are just a little bit too big for me, a lot of them. If you know of any Sigma brushes that are like actually small, and please understand that when I say small, I actually mean like very small. If you've seen the brushes that I use, you know what I mean. So I would love to get more smaller brushes. So if you have any recommendations for any brands that have very, very small eyeshadow brushes, let me know, because I'm always on the lookout for new ones. The next thing on my list, I actually do not have in front of me. I was looking for it for a while, but I think I ran out. And this is the Morphe setting spray. I really like the Morphe setting spray. I love the mister on it. I don't remember who made me buy this. I think it might have been Jaclyn Hill.
Wow, shocking. It's not like she pushes Morphe or anything, you know?
But I do really, really like that setting spray. I don't know if it necessarily does a whole lot for me, but I did use it a lot when we went to New York last year, and it was really hot and humid, and I would use that setting spray before putting on my foundation, and it really made me a lot more matte during the day because of the humidity. Usually I get really oily, but that's a trick I like to do in the summer, is I will spray my setting spray before I put on my foundation. So in between primer and foundation, I will use my setting spray, and that spray is perfect for that because it's so finely misted that it just works really well. So I definitely need to pick up a new one for the summer because I know I'm going to need it because it's gonna be so hot here. Next thing on my list is a blush, and this is the MAC Extra Dimension blushes. This is a beautiful shimmery blush. I really want to get more of these. This is in the shade Sweets for My Sweet. I'll show you a quick swatch. It's actually going to look very similar to the lipstick that I just put on, but this is so beautiful, and it's not as pigmented on your face as when I swatched it, because I was pretty heavy-handed with this just to show you the color. But it's a very, very nice, sheer, buildable, kind of shiny blush, and it's so beautiful. I love a shimmery blush, so really want to pick up more of these, but I wish they weren't so expensive. If you know of a dupe for these, I would love to know. But speaking of blushes though, I thought I would just mention that I actually did end up picking up the Luminoso blush by Milani because of you guys, because everyone was raving about this so much. And I'm gonna have a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I don't really love this. I find it to be a little bit powdery actually. And I thought since it was a baked blush, it would be more of like a shimmery blush, but for me, it's just very powdery. And I don't know if maybe they changed their formula or something, but it also doesn't really show up that much on me. So I think I've just realized that I like more pigmented blushes than most people do, because a lot of the recommendations that I've gotten from a lot of you guys on blushes and also bronzers have been like more on the very buildable side. And I don't mind that, but I also wanted to show up in the end, you know? Like, I don't like to have to build up and build up and build up and build up something to be able to make it show on my face. And I'm really not that pale, so I'm kind of surprised that this doesn't show up me as much as I would like to. And I definitely am going to use it more as a topper than a blush on its own. So yeah, you know, we can't all like the same things, and I think that's what's so fun about makeup, that we all have such different opinions. But I can see why a lot of people like this, but I've also heard that they have changed the formula on the Luminoso blush, so if I'm mistaken in that, I'm sorry, but if I am, let me know if you have tried both of the formulas and if they are different or not, because I have heard a lot of people say that they are different. So I don't know, maybe I would like the older formula more, maybe some people like the new formula more, I don't know, but I'm not really a huge fan, so you know, at least it was cheap. The next item is actually something that was limited edition, and I am not really someone who buys a lot of limited edition items because, I don't know, like, I'm not one to be very emotionally attached to things that come out. Like, if some certain collection comes out that's like a Disney collection or themed after something that I like, I'm not going to run out and buy it just because it's from a movie or it's from this or because I like this person. Like, if I don't like the product, I usually don't end up buying it. And since I'm very picky with what I buy, I usually don't buy a lot of limited edition items. So the one that I'm talking about is the Amrezy highlighter by Anastasia. I will say I am a sucker for this. I think this is so beautiful. And I don't know if it was the packaging that really lured me in, but look at that wave design. Like, isn't that just everything? It's so pretty. And I like how this works on so many different skin tones. I've seen so many people use this and everybody looks beautiful in it. I will say that when I'm at my palest, it's a tiny bit dark for me, but that could just be me. And like I said, I'm very picky with my products, so if something doesn't look great on my skin tone because it leaves a bit of a cast, I'm very much like, no, I don't like this. So this one kind of does that when I'm super pale, but in the summer and when I do have a little bit of a tan, it's amazing. It's absolutely perfect. So I do really like this highlighter a lot, and I'm so happy I bought it, but I'm so sorry you can't buy it because it's not available anymore. I don't think it's available anymore. I know they brought it back, but I don't know how long they brought it back for. So if you have a chance to still buy that, I would definitely recommend it because it's such a beautiful highlighter. The next item is something that I might have mentioned in my first my first YouTube made me buy it, and this is the DHC liquid liner. I bought this because Samantha March was raving about it in one of her yearly favorites. I think it was last year, and she was saying how good this liner is, and I repurchased this I think 5 or 6 times, and I get this on Amazon and I am hooked. But this last one that I bought, I don't know if they changed the formula or if I got a bad one, but the pigmentation in this one is not as good as the one that I had last time, so I don't know if I can recommend this anymore because I don't know if they changed the formula or not. But this used to be so good, so I will let you know next time I buy a new one if it's, because I am probably going to buy a new one just because I love it and I need to make sure that they didn't change the formula, or if they did change the formula, I want to know. So I mean, this is just like, this has been my holy grail liner for so long that I really hope they didn't change it, because I'm gonna be so sad because I don't have a favorite liner after this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to probably buy a new one and see if maybe this one was just a dud, and just pray that it was, because otherwise I don't know what to do. The next product is a recommendation, or not even a recommendation, but this is something that Raw Beauty Christy was using in one of her videos recently, pretty recently, like a couple of months ago. She was testing out some Covergirl products, and this is the Covergirl Eyebrow Pencil. I don't know if it has a name. Ultrafine Brow Pencil. So I really like the formula of this. I think this is amazing. I made a mistake when I ordered this on Amazon because I did not realize that it came in a 2-pack, so I ended up getting 2. And so I ended up getting 2 2-packs, I ended up getting 4. So I'm on my 3rd one right now, and I mean, clearly I like it because I'm going through them like it's nothing, because that's what I do with brow pens. I probably go through like 1 brow pen every 3 weeks or so, I want to say, because I mean, I basically got to draw on my whole brow every day, so that's just kind of what happens when you don't have any brows to begin with. But I do really like this, and I think it's awesome that I found a cheaper alternative than my ABH one, because I used to use that one all the time and it got expensive, let me tell you. Even though I did stock up during sales and usually buy like 4 or 5 at a time, it still got expensive because that brow pen is just expensive. So I would definitely recommend these. I think these are great, and I'm so happy that I jumped on that when Raw Beauty Christy was doing her video. Like, I literally ordered that during the video, and that's not something I usually do. I usually will kind of wait and do a little bit of research and like maybe, you know, but she just sold it to me and I had to get it. So happy I did though, because this is fantastic. And the only product on this list that I didn't end up liking, I know a lot of people are going to really disagree with me, but this is the Laura Mercier setting powder. I did not like this at all. I thought it made my skin look really cakey, and coming from someone who likes very kind of thick powders that keep you matte, and I do have oily skin, you would think this would work perfectly on me. I also did not like the smell. A lot of people have said that maybe I got a bad one because this smells like an old couch when I put it on. It smells awful. Maybe it's because it's a travel size, maybe it's gone bad, I have no idea, but I did not like this powder. I'm so sorry. I know it's a lot of people's holy grail, and I don't understand it. So I guess I just have a lot of very unpopular makeup opinions, it seems like, especially from this video, and also just like from hearing you guys talk about product in the comments and stuff. I'm like, wow, I really like a lot of stuff that other people don't like, and vice versa, but I don't know, I think that's so cool about makeup. So, you know, just make sure that every time people talk about products, take it with a grain of salt, because we all like different things. So do your research before you buy something. Just because I like something doesn't mean that you are going to like something. Just because you like something doesn't mean I'm going to like something. And everybody has different skin types too, so there's so many things to take into consideration when buying makeup, and that's what makes it so fun, because you never know if something is going to work for you until you try it. So, you know, it's like a trial and error process, and I really like that about makeup. Next up on my list is something that I don't actually have in front of me because they're all in my living room, because I was trying to make up a new palette for my palette inspiration series, which I'm really excited about because I have the perfect color story right now and I can't wait to sit down and play with it and do some videos with it. I think you guys are really going to like it. But this is my single shadow, so I probably would not have bought single shadows if it wasn't for YouTube, because I didn't really know that single shadows really existed, and I wasn't really into indie brands either before I started watching YouTube videos, because like I said, like I just did not really know that they existed. So happy I've discovered single shadows, and that was one of my goals this year, to get more into single shadows and try more indie brands and try out more single shadow formulas. And I feel like I've done a really good job with that. And right now I'm just like, I'm so inspired by being able to put together my own color stories, and I find that to be so much fun. And it's just so interesting to be able to do the things that I want the brands to do, but to be able to do it myself. I think that is like so much fun. So yeah, single shadows is definitely something that I didn't think that I would really get into. So the only concealer on my list is going to be the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Not sure who I bought this because of, probably everybody, because when this launched, I watched so many videos on people trying out this concealer and everybody loved it. Everybody thought this was like the best thing after Tarte Shape Tape, and I was using Shape Tape at the time, so obviously I was very intrigued. I ended up trying this. I like it. I like the Shape Tape more, I think, and I will probably go back to that when I finish this. But what I like about this is that you get so much product, so this ends up being so much cheaper, but it's not as full coverage as the Shape Tape, so that's probably why I like it a bit more, because I just love full coverage everything, clearly. So, you know, I'm probably going to use this up and then go back to Shape Tape, even though I haven't quite decided. What is your favorite concealer if you like Shape Tape? Don't let me know if you don't like Shape Tape. I just want someone who likes Shape Tape to let me know what your second favorite concealer is, or what other concealers you like, because I really would like to know. So yeah, let me know down below, because I am open to trying a new concealer if, you know, I run out of this one anytime soon, so let me know. And to end this, I have two foundations that I want to talk about, and I actually really like them both. So the first one is going to be my high-end concealer. Can you guess, or foundation, can you guess which one it is? I feel like a lot of you know that I use this, and this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It took me so long to pick up this foundation because it really annoys me that it doesn't have a pump. And it still annoys me that it doesn't have a pump, and I have been on Amazon so many times looking to buy a pump, and then I just never pull the trigger, because I'm like, I just dump this onto my brush and it's fine, but it still really annoys me that I have to dump it onto my brush. I don't know, so I don't know if I'm going to rebuy this though. I do really like it, but I actually have been liking my Dior foundation more, and that's not one that I bought because of YouTube. That was basically me being in Sephora and looking at them and being like, I want to try that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to repurchase this. I feel like I use a lot of it too, just because it doesn't have a pump, so I always end up using more than I need to, because a lot comes out and I dump it out. So I don't really know. I also feel like there's not that much product in this. It doesn't really say on it, but I just feel like there's not that much product in it. I could be way wrong. There could be like 40 mils and I don't even know. But the last foundation on my list is going to be the Morphe foundation, and I did a review on this, and the reason why I bought this foundation was because everybody who tried this and hated it had dry skin. And I was like, I want to see someone with oily skin use this, and since I have oily skin, I was like, usually I like every single foundation that people with dry skin hate, so I decided to jump on it, and I'm so happy I did, because I really like this foundation. I haven't had an issue with this. It doesn't break me out. I don't have any problems removing it. I don't really have any problems with this whatsoever. So yeah, it's just, again, it just goes to show that so many people like different products, and just because someone likes something and someone doesn't mean that the other person is or isn't going to like it. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy I bought this. It's a cheap foundation, and now I have another great foundation that I think is going to work perfectly for me in the summer especially. So I think those were all the products that I wanted to talk about, and wow, I've been filming for a lot longer than I thought I would. I really thought this was going to be a quick video, but we'll see when I edit it. I'm currently at 22 minutes, so let's see how much I can get this down to. I feel like I did pretty good talking this time, so maybe it'll get down to like 16, 17, 18 minutes. I don't think I need to cut out too much, which is pretty good for me. So yeah, that's going to sum up today's video. Please go ahead and check out Julie's video, because I'm so curious to hear about the products that she's going to talk about. So I think also you guys are really going to love her, so please go check her out. I will link her in the corner down in the description box, you know, everywhere, you know the drill. So thank you so much for collabing with me, Julie. I love you so much, and thank you to you guys for watching. I also love you so much. So that's going to sum up today's video. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did so, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.